could maybe be a dad, but definitely not a mom. I am child-free by choice. And I think this is a very controversial thing to say on the internet. No, it's not because no one wants me. And no, it's not because I hate kids. And it's not because I'm selfish. Wait, maybe I am. But what's wrong with that? If you want to say that, that's fine. Maybe I am selfish. I need a lot of time alone. Like, I am extroverted, introvert. I think I might be neurospicy, and I need a lot of time by myself. Like, a lot. I love being around people, don't get me wrong, but I need that alone time. And if I don't get it, I get like easily overburnt and I will have a meltdown. So you cannot have that with a child. You never get alone time. Like, even if you have the best partner in the world, the child still wants a mom. And I know that I was a pair and it's really difficult to say no. Imagine you need your alone time and there's a child banging on the door crying for mommy. Are you gonna rest? No, I don't think so. Or imagine being ill, like you have a cold and all you want to do is like be in bed and die. You feel so bad that you don't want to even have your eyes open. Like, even TV bothers you and you're a mom. For me, it's an utter nightmare. And also, honestly, I've never been anywhere, like experienced something. I was thinking, you know what would make that experience better? Having a kid. No. And that's how I know I don't want to be a mom. I love traveling. I love independence. I love the thought that, you know, if something happens, I can just pack my bags and go, and I don't have any dependables. And you have a kid, you cannot think about it. You cannot do that. Like, you always have to think about consequences of your actions, and you always have to make sure that the other person's gonna have food on their table. And if I don't eat, I don't eat. You know what I mean? I am honestly terrified by the idea that someone's going to depend on me and on my income, and, you know, that I have to then make a decision with them in mind. Like, I see those people who are stuck in their jobs that they actually freaking hate, but they're too scared to quit because they have a mortgage and 2 kids and they cannot afford to do that. Like, for me, that's a nightmare. I would never want to live that life. I would never. Oh, I even have chills thinking about it. And I love to travel alone. I don't travel with people very often. I am that kind of weirdo. I don't know. I just feel like traveling alone is so much better because I get to meet so many people there. Like, I usually stay in hostels, or if I don't, I will find some groups and we'll meet up with someone. And if you travel with someone, you're never going to meet anyone because you're just going to be with that person. You can't really do that with a kid. And also, if you know me, you know that I like to move a lot. Like, I used to live in the US. I lived in Edinburgh. Now I live in London. And who knows when I'm going to go next. And the world is my oyster. And I just, you know, want to continue to be able to do that. And also, the way society treats women and mums, it's just appalling to me. I'm Polish, and for example, in Poland, abortion is illegal, and they want you to give birth to a child, even if it's not gonna live even 1 minute outside of a uterus. You still have to give birth, but then there's no help from the government, they don't care. And even strangers on the internet, I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of comments that I'm so selfish and that, you know, my role as a woman is to give birth. Okay, let's say that I do that. Are you gonna help me then? No? So shut up. And the burden is always on the mom. That's what I said. I could maybe be a dad, but not a mom. And even with the most amazing partnership, like if your husband or the baby daddy is like so helpful, it's never gonna be 50-50. First of all, your body goes to shit. You're losing hair. Do you see how much hair I have? I cannot gamble that. I'll be bald. My teeth are weak, and all of my friends lost their hair and had problem with teeth after like giving birth. So no, definitely not for me. And also, you can die in childbirth. It's horrific. Like, I'm not prepared to go through that. So that's one thing. Second thing is your career. Let's be honest that we still live in a society that wants women to give birth, but then it penalizes them. Is that a good penalize? Well, you know what I mean. Like, if you take a year off for maternity, it's so hard to get back. And then they don't really want to hire moms because they know that it's a package deal. And 9 out of 10 times when a kid is off, like when a kid is sick, who's going to take time off? Mom. Usually not dad. You know, things like that. And there's so many women who had to give up their dreams for the kids. And I don't want to be one of them. Do you remember this big controversy with, it's called Ballerina Farm? When she just wanted to be a ballerina. And then she met this guy. Now she popped a couple of kids. She's never going to be a ballerina. And honestly, I know how hard it is. I have friends who are parents. I'm 34 years old. Of course, I have friends who are parents, and they're not sugarcoating this. I know how hard it is. And also, I was au pair for 2 years. Like, I know this is not for me, 100%. And sometimes I feel like, and you might think this is rude what I'm about to say, but sometimes I think the people who try to convince you that, you need to be a parent, it's just the greatest thing in the world and you're never going to experience love unless you have a child, they say that. So then, they feel good with their choices. So they feel like there was no actually choice to begin with. Like, this is what everyone does and I don't have to feel bad. I don't have to feel that I regret that there was other way to do it. Because, everyone is doing it. And I think people need to be 100% sure that they want to be parents. I think every kid deserves to be wanted and loved. And there are groups on Facebook and on Reddit about, regretting being a parent. It's a real thing. And I saw a comment on TikTok. Someone said that, oh, you're never going to regret having a kid. Just because you don't regret it doesn't mean that someone else is not going to be in that situation. And I actually met a woman like that. She never wanted to have a kid, and then she met her husband, and then he really wanted to have one, and she was thinking, you know what, I don't want to have kids, but I want to have his kid. And she says it was a bad idea. She loves her child. Like, now she realizes she was right. She doesn't want to be a mom. It's too difficult. Even though sometimes I have thought, you know what, it would be nice to have a little baby and someone to show the world, because I love showing the world to people. I love when my friends visit me and I can like show them around. And I feel like this is like how being a parent is. You show people, like this little tiny human, you show them the world, and that's magical. But imagine just being on that hope that this is going to be like that, and then those tough moments come and you realize you can never go back, because it's not like you can go back in time, and you're just going to hurt that child. So you're going to be a crappy parent. So no, I feel like if you're not 100% sure, you shouldn't be a parent, because there's so many people that they have kids that they shouldn't have. Like, there's so many wounded children that they feel not wanted. So yeah, this is where I stand on that. Might be harsh, but every kid deserves to be loved and every kid deserves to be wanted. So if you're not 100% sure, I don't think you should be a parent. And also, the biggest argument, oh, you're going to be all alone when you're old. First of all, if you're only having kids to have someone when you're old, isn't that really selfish? And also, having a kid doesn't guarantee that it's going to go that way. You never know what's going to happen. And I am designing my life in a way that I'm not going to be alone. I have amazing idea for my retirement. And I actually cannot wait. And I don't need kids for that. I need money. And kids drain you out of money. So again, selfish point. And also my last point, and I think this is the most like personal to me, and you might not relate to that, but I have a lot of anxiety and like health related anxiety, and I always think that something's bad gonna happen. So imagine me being a parent. I would lose my freaking marbles. I would lose my mind. I will always, like, with a baby with like the sudden infant death, I wouldn't sleep even a minute. I would just be watching over that thing. And if something happened, I would be freaking, like, that's not for me at all. And if something would actually happen, I don't think I would ever be okay. I'm too fragile for that. I'm even terrified to think about it. So yeah, these are my arguments. I can already sense the comments, although I really hope this is not going to be on the wrong side of the internet. But yes, I am selfish, you can call me that, but I feel like sometimes parents are selfish because they just want to bring another life to this earth because they want that me, and then they don't think about the consequences. And like I said, every child wants to feel like they're needed, and it's not just a toy, and you have to be responsible, and I'm responsible enough to know this is not for me. And it doesn't fit my lifestyle, it doesn't fit my needs, and it doesn't fit like my vision of the world that I want to live in. And no, it's not because I can't have kids, because I'm ugly, fat, or this or that. Look at the people who are breeding. Do I have to say more? This has been fun. I'm gonna start posting more videos like that about like my experience with controversial topics, about like life in your 30s, and I'm gonna be vulnerable here. So if you're interested in stuff like that, give me a follow. See you next week.